Hey folks, what's going on? Agent Not So Lazy here. As you saw from the title, this video will contain a guide, rather a very simple setup that anyone can follow with any frame, and I like to call it cheese the boss at worst and mod abuse at best. And as usual, this video will contain chapters like every other video I have made in which is a guide. So if you are interested in specific frame clears, feel free to skip around with the guide's timestamps where I have marked for every frame. Though towards the first half of the video I'll be covering the guide in detail. So in case you don't want the gameplay and you're just here for the information, feel free to follow along. Else if you're just here for the fight, you can skip to the specific timestamps which are also included. Also, since my last video of Janus Captain War, there has been several new information which has been shared with the community and has been put through the Warframe wiki. I thought to put them along in this video as well so that you guys can follow along, because I'm pretty sure some of you might have not gone to the wiki just to read it for yourself, so I'll present information as we go along. So yes, feel free to join along with me in the guide. First of all, let's talk about the general mod setup, which seems to be working on all the frames. That being this mod specifically, catalyzing shields, energy nexus, undying will, and the biggest of all, rolling guard. Okay, before we say anything else, we have beaten rolling guard to the death, but this mod, in my opinion, is not exactly crucial, but I'm using it more as a safety net in case I am getting nullified or getting hit by multiple debuffs back to back along with status effect. So I'm only gonna use this only to get out of like the nullified status or to clear all the statuses over me. Just a heads up, don't get mad over me just for using the rolling guard in this mod video. Listen, it has its purpose and its place. So with that, let's get back to the video. You notice this build is using catalyzing shield, which means we are gonna abuse one specific mechanic of Warframe, which I personally despise and don't like, is shield gating. So that means you're gonna be using mods like Brief Respite and the Octo set to get the full set bonus. The more mod you have, the easier shield gating is gonna be. Anyway, that's the whole bunch on the Warframe side, but your companion does play a pretty pivotal role in this run, I have to say. The companion setup is very specific for this runs and can be said that it is pretty much a cheese fight if you are running this setup. That is, we will be utilizing two mods in specific, that being Sacrifice in combination with Prime Region, which in combined strength has 40 seconds of downtime for companion, because in case you go down with this setup, you have about 35 seconds of downtime as your Warframe, and combine the same with the last grasp of Vinyl, you have 55 seconds because 20 seconds is the limit of your last grasp. But the thing is, this is the time only you are going to begin with your first down, that is 55 seconds of downtime. But the thing is, the more you keep going down in the future, the time will keep shrinking, that being 5 seconds of bleed out and 2 seconds of last grasp, with baseline of 5 seconds in each. So the thing is, you want to desync your companion dying from you, because else you'll end up like me, as you see this clip of Atlas. My frame went down pretty fast along with my companion. I couldn't use last grasp and I actually ended up dying. So hope you don't end up here, and if you're in this state, you want to basically skip forward, you're still not prepared to fight him. And the thing is, this state also is pretty helpful for you, because if you're down and war is right next to you, not outside of your line of sight, what you can do is you can pretty much shoot down war either as your Warframe or as your operator, and that's a free bite damage. Like, yes, am I down? Technically, am I dealing damage more than my normal while I'm chasing war? Definitely yes. So yes, there is something I abused in my personal runs. This is why I have all these glyphs. I mean, this is more like a cheap shot damage, as I like to call it, because your companion is basically reviving you. And the thing is, when your companion revives, it also has a 5 second vulnerability, which means it can pretty much safely revive you without going down. Though once it's down, it's gone for 40 seconds, so you have to make sure you are not going down immediately as soon as you get revived, because you have like 3 seconds of invulnerability once you're out of the revival companion, and you need to survive for some time before you go down again. At worst, you will have 10 seconds before you go down, so make sure your companion is at least like at 90% regenerated before you go down next time, or you are already in the down state at the worst possible moment. Anyway, that covers most of my general build. It's more of a companion focused in case you want to abuse the state of being downed and deal a lot of damage. Else, if you are good enough player, hey, you're welcome. You can just run around and deal a metric ton of damage. Other than this, there has been some new information after my last guide. That being, you remember what I said about like running around the map and getting all the glyphs? You don't technically need to do that. Just follow this glyph, like literally this one, and just go to the door and punch it in. You can literally speedrun the starting of a mission and go to the room, punch this glyph, your door is bound to open. Because this glyph apparently is locked and you don't need to find the glyph every time and the pattern is going to be the same. So hey, that's a bit of a grind reduction so that you don't need to go every time you're trying to open up the door and get the keys. Now coming to the specific builds. If you want to go to the difficulty of clearing from the easiest to hardest, this is a personal bias. Your tier can vary. So if I want to rank them, I would go with the easiest would be with Hildryn, then with Chroma. Third would surprisingly go to Limbo. Fourth and fifth is kind of shared for me, that being Atlas and Citrene. And at dead last it is Khora because I kind of messed up and I'll cover it later in the video. Though I realized after doing the fight that it can be much simpler, so hold your horses till then. If you're seeing the fight in the background for Hildryn, you can technically get away without using catalyzing shields or the brief respite setup if you have the augment blazing pillage. Since I didn't have the augment, I ran the catalyzing shield setup. If you see the clip, combining any of this build with the arcane snake arcane ages will give you literally 12 seconds of invulnerability because once you proc this arcane, you can take a freaking ton of damage and you will not die. Like, you will get face planted with bullets yet you won't die, but the thing is you need to make sure your timer is not running out. And in this phase, you can literally run up to any of them's face and just, load the face with the bullets and they will literally go down. So this is something I learned when I was doing the Hildryn's run, which was one of my last runs, though I'm sure in the parts because I was still refining the setup. So yeah, that's about Hildryn. On to the next one for Chroma. Chroma in general is very tanky as a frame, though if you want any specific tip for him, I would ideally run his ice element in the aura. Because ice Chroma is the best Chroma, also known as the tank Chroma. He literally reflects damage that comes towards him and he won't take the damage. So yes, that's a free cheap shot damage. Another way you can still use it for survival plus dealing damage. Feel free to use it in your builds and that's all about it. Limbo, as I said earlier, is the oddball here because I was expecting to struggle the most with Limbo personally. Especially because of the Eximus present in the right after the first phase of fight. The thing is, in this build, I also got rid of the rolling guard because I saw Limbo didn't need it at all. And yes, that's technically true because, boy, literally Limbo plays with his dimensions like, you can literally go up to phase of War, cast his ultimate, and you will like domain expansion, Yuriki Tenkai. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, the thing is, Limbo's domain literally stops War's grenade, which War really loves to spam, and those things will float in mid-air without detonating. So you can literally go inside the bubble, cast stasis, shoot his face with the bullets. Even with the Eximus, I was like running around shield gating because I could literally get his full overshield with just one cast of the bubble. Yes, I was running the setup of Energy Nexus, though I was utilizing Limbo's passive as well. I didn't need Nourish. Limbo being the most oddball was the most surprising thing, and also one of the easiest to beat, personally saying. The only time I went down, I think so, was because of me being careless and just taking the lightning orbs to my face. Next up is Citrene and Atlas. Both of these guys literally fell in the same category because Atlas can't shield it, and Citrene damage reduction is abysmal at best because you only have 50% of damage reduction innately. I replaced Atlas's wall and Citrene's prismatic gem with Nourish in my build, though the thing is the build didn't have enough space for me to mod accordingly. I didn't want to use the abusive setup except the bleeding out part, but the thing is with Atlas was the most struggling personally because his shield is so high natively that even if you cast his rumblers, you don't get over shield with the catalyzing shield setup. So I was left running. At least I should be thankful for Atlas because his rumblers were a good enough distraction that gave me like 2 to 3 seconds of breathing room between me relocating and reloading the guns or like charging up the incarnate. So that in a way was godsend because war or literally any enemies would be first attracted by the rumblers than Atlas himself unless I shooting them in the face for a pretty long time. For Citrene, I took away her gem because my weapon of choice was dual toxicist and I also had it modded for secondary encumber, which literally deals the free status damage. So I didn't need to deal more status. I needed something that could be more consistent in staying alive. The only good part about Citrene was I could cast her ultimate in between of some of the Nourish cast, which grew like the prismatic gem on top of War's head, dealing even more critical damage to War and taking out much faster. But the thing is, this needed to be timed. So yes, that's one thing you need to keep care of. And the thing is, she just goes long stem instead of War, which also means War may run away, especially if you're in the second half of the fight. Or you are going to take a metric ton of damage because you came in front of War and he just face blast you right away. Anyway, last one of the frames. I don't know how long this video is going to be or how long my ranting is going to last compared to actual fights. Though I'll still leave the remaining of fights if there is any at the end. And now coming to Khora. Personally, I thought this was a very double-edged build because I went with my standard undying build, as I like to call it at this point. I went there, but then after completion of my run, I realized, wait, Khora has Whip Claw. And the thing is, I didn't touch Khora since the melee rework, so pseudo melee rework or whatever you want to call them. I forgot the name. Wait, that was pseudo exalted, my bad. Thing is, I didn't touch my Khora since then, so her Whip Claw was unmodded. But the thing is, if you are able to cram even a little bit of mods like with your accumulating Whip Claw, just to melee damage mods, and if you are having energy nexus with Nourish, you could literally spam her Whip Claw and you could have taken on War. But the thing is, he also has damage reduction abilities, so I couldn't literally just go up to his face and whip him and be like, War, be my pet. Khora could not work there, and I realized that only after I completed my run. So in that way, Khora has two technical builds, that being one of her DPS builds with her Whip Claw and the other one being my Undying build. Though I struggled the most with Khora personally because I didn't realize it, and she is pretty squishy, I'll say that. That's the beauty of, I guess, welds and frames. The frames which deals a lot of damage are extremely squishy. Anyway, that's all from me, folks. Hope you learned something from this video. And if you found this video useful, feel free to share this video around with anyone who's actually trying to get this glyphs. Else also consider dropping a separate channel. This is just for fun for me. Anyway, till then, that's all from me. This has been Agent Not So Lazy signing off. Till then, take care of your loved ones, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. you.